Hi, I'm Diane, Dayton with Cool Jazz Cafe. We're at the 26th Annual Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest in Reading, Pennsylvania. Catching up with bassist Michael Manson. Thanks for being with us.
Awesome. My pleasure. It's awesome being here with you.
Well, I'm so glad to catch up with you because I really like your music. I like the sound you get on the bass.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, yes. But, I enjoy it as well.
Yeah. How do we describe your sound? How would you describe it?
It's kind of a hybrid between, so it's the epitome of being a bass guitar, as it were, kind of the middle road between bass and guitar.
Yeah.
And I describe it as being like singing style, cantabile style, where I like to convey that type of feeling to the audience.
Yeah, well, we get that. We get that. It's good. Now, you were, about 14, I guess, when you picked up the guitar, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What motivated you to do that?
Jealousy, I think. My brother was playing, and I wanted to be like him. And in my family, while we weren't that musical, it was required that we take piano lessons. I hated piano.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, my brother's going to play guitar. I want to play guitar too. So, and that kind of inspired me to play guitar. But then I gravitated towards bass about a year later than after I started playing. And just enjoyed it and was inspired by a young man named Al Jarreau.
That we do share. Yes.
Yeah.
Al Jarreau is phenomenal.
Yes, he is.
Just phenomenal.
Yeah. And through that time, be inspired by him in the beginning. One never knew, but I've performed with him many times now.
What was that like, performing with someone that was just...
Well, I mean, it's just proof that the dreams do come true, and the things that you start out thinking about and dreaming about, if you actually work hard at it and then, of course, prayerfully and being in the right place at the right time, they do come true. And so it was just tremendously inspiring being with him, and now we're the best of friends.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So when was your first real gig? What you consider a real gig?
I had, I guess I was about 15. I played with the Ramsey Lewis, or part of the Ramsey Lewis trio. Ramsey, of course, is very, very huge in Chicago, and it has been for years or decades even. And L.D. Young and Red Holt invited me on their gig at the age of 15, and it was the first time I ever got paid for playing. It was amazing. Yeah.
So then you thought, yeah.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but I had a really, really good teacher who was very inspirational. So he said, well, at some point, you're talented enough, at some point you can really do this and make this your life's living. And I believed him.
Yeah.
And so here we are 42 years later.
Is that how long it is, 42 years later?
Yeah.
And how many albums or CDs later?
We've got 5, and now we're working on number 6.
Thumpin'.
Yes.
Live.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. That's a great piece.
It was one of those things that was inspired, we had all these albums that we had done before, and we, in the studio, you're kind of tailoring things, and, you try to be as energetic as possible. But in the live setting, in the concert setting, where the energy is unbridled, that's what we wanted to capture, Typically on studio CDs, you invite a lot of friends to come and guest star, and essentially the live CD is just my band and I, and we're just doing what we do.
Yeah. What is it like for you on stage performing?
To me, it's all about conveying what's in me to the audience, and so I take that very, very seriously. From start to finish, I want the audience to experience all of who I am. On the spiritual side, the natural side, everything, laughter, everything. So, and I want to, through the music, just convey all of that, which is in my spirit.
And that's what I was going to ask you. Who are you? Who is what you want to? You want that spirit.
Yeah. yeah.
to come out?
Yeah. I feel that, the music and my purpose in music is to be able to actually change people's lives, to be able to, like, for people to feel God's goodness within the music that I create and be able to perform. So in performing live and even in the studio for that matter, I want all of that spirit to come out and hopefully, lives will be changed. And, everybody's looking for a little relief, a little goodness in their lives, and hopefully through this music we can provide that.
Well, you try to do this on many different levels too. There's a school.
Yes.
That you started.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So 5 years ago, I was between records, and I spent about 9 months in the school system teaching music, and in the inner city of Chicago, actually. And I was really kind of not good with the situation in that talented kids were not able to express themselves to their fullest potential. So I wanted a place where people could come, or kids could come, and just kids from the community, and come in, express themselves, and experience excellence, and experience the thrill of being able to work hard at something and then getting that reward.
Yeah.
So that's how me and my wife, we started the Musical Arts Institute in Chicago. And now it's just growing, and we've got 127 kids now.
Wow.
It's really, really good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so.
You are changing lives.
Yes.
And that's what all of this is all about.
It is.
That's purpose.
It's purpose.
It is purpose.
It is purpose. And,
Yeah.
And I think, I just had a recent health challenge, and I think now my purpose is even more clear, just to reach people where they are, and to help change lives and to help make lives better.
It's interesting, the things in our lives that direct our paths, the way we're supposed to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you get a chance to reflect in the hospital bed, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm doing this, and now it has real purpose, and life is for the living, and you have to get about that purpose.
Yeah. I think we've touched on some things that are important to you.
Sure.
What else do you want us to know about you that we might not know?
Well, I'm a distinct family man, in love with my family, in love with my daughter, who's a violist and a classical violist, and actually my musical education is in classical music.
Okay.
My master's degree is in orchestra conducting, and so I have a real affinity for that. And then I passed that love on to my family. My wife is a mezzo-soprano, sings opera. She's an unbelievable vocal coach.
Oh, wow.
So I'm tremendously devoted to my family, and want to see them do well, and that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, that's great to have the support and the love of your family.
Absolutely.
What do you do in your off time? If there is off time.
I don't know if I grab an hour or two here and there. No, I love swimming.
Oh, okay.
So I go swimming, and I love the movies.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the off time. But between practice and the school and working on music, and increasingly my daughter is taking a whole lot of my schedule. That's about it.
That sounds really good.
I rest well at the end of the day.
Yes, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking time with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. It really is a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, it's great to get to know a little bit about who you are.
Sure.
And what motivates you,
Absolutely.
and purpose,
Yes.
and influence. And I love the spirit I see about you.
Oh, well, thank you.
It shows in your music.
Thank you. Thank you. It is that's the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right.
We're coming to you from the Berks Jazz Fest.